So I met Yas at in a bar at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. So we're already winning. Now, if you're wondering, that's Yas spelled like ass with the Y in front of it. Spoiler. But of course, that's not his real name, and I will go on record to say that I am not winking coyly right now. So there were a lot of warning signs that I just kind of ignored because he was educated, and he was well-traveled, and he had a good job, and oh my God, could he cook? You thought I was going to talk about the sex right there. I know. No, but for real, he could really, really cook. So, ayo. So anyway, I lost my train of thought. I'm so embarrassed right now. He was so awesome. Warning signs, that's where I was. Okay, warning signs. Once he left me stranded in the middle of nowhere, and I had to take 2 buses and a train to get home, and his comment to me was, I would be freaking out if I were you. One time he got really mad that of my own accord I didn't bring him coffee at 10 o'clock at night. He wouldn't friend me on Facebook, which I know it's Facebook, but you have one and I have one and we're dating, so this is weird. He made me feel really silly about it at the time, but in retrospect it's more like, what are you hiding? So it's 6 months in, I take him to Ohio, which is where I'm from. And if you ever want to test a relationship, go ahead and take an 8-hour road trip and stay for a week in a tiny efficiency apartment. It really makes you reevaluate things. But anyway, I know a lot of people there because it's my hometown and that's where I grew up. And this seems to upset him. One night we're at a bar and he looks at me and he says, if I weren't here right now, how many of these guys would you be fucking? And I was like, what guys? What are you talking about? And he goes on to say, I just want you to know, I can get anybody I want. I've dated models before. To which I go, obviously. Thank you. But I was really perturbed about how he was trying to make me feel bad about myself and feel grateful to him for him deigning to date me. So things were, kind of on the rocks after this trip. And it's a month later, and I'm still with him, probably because he made a rack of lamb and I decided to forgive him. So I'm waiting. This one night we're gonna go out on a date. It's kind of a fancy date. I remember I was wearing a dress, and he was supposed to come over, and I'm it's getting later and later, and all of a sudden I get this text from him. And he starts with my name, and he uses this plea to garner sympathy and understanding. And he says, Eliza, I got home and I collapsed. I am so sick. Eliza. Now, you all just met me, so this isn't severe enough to you, but yeah, Eliza is not my name. My name is Alyssa. And you might be thinking, well, if you say them out loud, they kind of sound similar, but he's not saying it out loud, he's writing it down, and he's writing it down wrong, and then he's sending it to me. And this isn't one letter off, which also would have pissed me off, but this is an actual different name, and all of these excuses don't really mean anything because you're my fucking boyfriend and you should know how to spell my name. I learned how to spell his foreign fucking name. Remember, it's ass with a Y in front of it, as in, why are you such an ass? I was quite baffled. I mean, this is 7 months now, 7 months of dates and dinners and shows and trips to the beach and a trip to my hometown and a vacation together and meeting my parents. And for 7 months, I've let this man put his penis inside me and he doesn't know my name. I corrected him. I said, oh, it's Alyssa, Alyssa, not Eliza. And he responded with indignance. He texted back, you have no idea how I was feeling. The last thing I could muster was the correct spelling of your name. And I was a little bit heartbroken. I mean, granted, things hadn't been going well, and I knew I wasn't gonna marry the guy. I mean, even if I had considered a future before, I definitely don't want it now if you can't spell my name in sickness or in health. So after that, I kicked his sorry Yas to the curb. Thank you.